Hello students, how are you all? I hope all you are fine and studying well. Now let's continue our chapter number 10, the Earth internal compositions and landforms. So we are here, rocks and minerals. The Earth is made up of rocks and minerals also. The types of rocks vary depending on their properties, particle size and formation process. In terms of formation process, rocks are of three types. How many types? Rocks are of three types. Now let us see one video about rocks and minerals.
Have you ever looked at a rock and wondered how it came to be? The story begins about 4.5 billion years ago, as gas and dust come together to form the rocks that make up our planet. Created from elements forged far off in a galaxy, rocks really are the stuff of stars. And so are we. Rocks, and the minerals they're made of, tell us the story of our planet. Look closely. Atoms are the building blocks of all matter. Combined, atoms form molecules. Minerals are made up of billions of molecules, which are often arranged in crystal structures. Minerals can crystallize from semi-molten rock called magma. When magma cools and solidifies, it forms igneous rocks, one of the three main rock types: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Granite is an intrusive igneous rock, commonly found on the Earth's continents. It has large crystals because it cools slowly, deep below the Earth's surface. When a volcano erupts, lava cools quickly to form small crystals, creating extrusive igneous rock, like basalt. Basalt makes up much of the ocean floor and also most of the moon. Over time, rocks are broken down by weathering effects like water, wind, heat, or ice. Small fragments, known as sediments, wash into lakes, rivers, and the sea. Here, layers of sediments compact and cement together over millions of years to form sedimentary rocks, like sandstone. Limestone is another kind of sedimentary rock. It can form from the remains of marine organisms or from chemical reactions within sediments. Fossils in limestone are an amazing record of the past, revealing clues to changes of climate and the extinction of life forms throughout the Earth's history. Did you know the ground beneath your feet is constantly moving? The continents and oceanic crust are pushing, pulling, and sliding in a process known as plate tectonics. This heats and squeezes rocks, changing their form. Minerals realign or recrystallize to form metamorphic rocks. Slate, used in roof tiles, and marble are examples of metamorphic rocks originally laid down as shale and limestone. The way rocks and minerals change gives us a guide to their origin. A rock's size and shape, and the colour and arrangement of its minerals, help geologists distinguish between different types of rocks. Many layers of rocks create a section, like this. With practice, you can read a rock section like the pages of a history book that goes back billions of years.
So students, the first type is igneous rock. How igneous rocks forms? Due to the volcanoes. Hot magma cools and solidifies. A rock formed in this way is called igneous rock. There are two types of igneous rocks: The first one is inner rocks and second one is outer rocks. To know this, igneous, a Latin word, ignis means fire. Sedimentary, a Latin word, sedimentum means stable. Metamorphic, the Greek word metamorph, which means change in form. So can you imagine the lava coming out of volcano? Actually, the reddish molten magma coming out from interior of the earth. On its surface is lava. When it is molten lava comes on the surface of the earth, it rapidly cools down and becomes a solid. So rocks formed in such way on the crust are called extrusive igneous rocks. They have a very fine grained structure. For example, basalt. Sometimes the molten magma cools down deep inside the earth crust. Solid rocks like are formed which are called intrusive igneous rocks. Since they very cool down slowly, they form large grains. Granite is an example of such rocks. Grinding stones used to prepare paste, powder of species, and grains are made up of granite. Let us see one picture about granite when basalt rocks. Here you can see this picture. Igneous types of rocks: grabo, basalt, rhyolite, granite. These are the types of rocks of igneous rocks. Now sedimentary rocks. Rocks roll down, crack and hit each other, are broken down into small particles. What is the process? Rocks roll down, crack and hit each other and are broken down into small particles. These sediments are transported and deposited by wind, water, etc. These loose sediments are compressed and handed to form layers of rocks. These types of rocks are called sedimentary rocks. For example, sandstone is made up of grains of sands. These rocks may also contain fossil of plants, animals, and other microorganisms that once lived on them. Let us see one picture about sedimentary rocks. Verica, limestone, sandstone, and shell. Then metamorphic rocks, third type. Igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic. Plus igneous plus sedimentary is equal to metamorphic. Rocks under great heat and pressure. For example, clay change into slate and limestone into marble. We use in our home as a tiles, marble tiles. So here you can see how metamorphic rocks made up of. The process: magma, then igneous rocks, then sedimentary rocks, then metamorphic rocks. These are the process. You have to draw in your notebook. So you will be surprised to know that one type of rocks change to other type under certain conditions in a cyclic manner. This process of the transformation of rock is called rock cycle. You have already learned that when the molten magma cools, it solidifies and to become igneous rocks. These igneous rocks are broken down into small particles. Those are transported and deposited from sedimentary rocks. When the igneous and sedimentary rocks are subjected to heat and pressure, they change into metamorphic rocks. The metamorphic rocks, which are still under extreme heat and pressure melt down to form molten magma. This molten magma cools down and solidify into igneous rocks. And rocks are very useful to us. How? Let us see. The solid rocks are used for making roads, houses, and buildings. Rocks are made up of different minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances which have a certain physical property and definite chemical composition. Minerals are very important to mankind. Some are used as a fuel, for example, coal, natural gas, mineral oil, and petroleum. They are used in various industries and even for making medicines like iron, aluminium, gold, uranium, etc. Now let us see the picture of metamorphic rocks. This is the picture of metamorphic rocks, and you can see the minerals like copper, diamond, feldstar, gold. Okay, thank you. Now next session we will study about next.